Okay, here we go. So, I currently have on like a whole headphones set. So, this is my first time actually testing it out. I did not do like a whole special test before I actually tried this. So, if there is like any background noise, like what there usually is, well then, my bad, because I'm probably using these wrong. But anyway, I do hear the audio. Well, I heard like the audio for the intro, so that's good. So anyway, kick things off here in Raw. We're not having that whole match card picture, mostly because I just realized I did not make the match card picture for the main event, and I'm just too lazy to actually bother and try to edit this video, stop doing this voiceover, and then actually make the picture, and then start this whole thing all over again. I'm too lazy to do that, so no. Anyway, kick things off here in Raw. Fatal 4-way action, just to see who gets more momentum, I guess. Sheamus and Tyson Kidd, they've been having a sequence of serious matches. Apollo is the former Incarnate Champion. Roman Reigns, we're just going to keep it in here because so he could be accurate. He's also, well, he used to contend for the A.A.W in the beginning of this universe mode for Raw, so he was CM Punk's first ever challenger for the A.A.W. Of course, Apollo Crews, former Incarnate Champion as well. Alex Shelley is currently the Incarnate Champion, and while CM Punk was first ever WWE Champion, your second ever champion, and your current champion is Bobby Lashley. So yeah, Lashley will be defending his WWE title against AJ Styles at the Sealed Fate pay-per-view. Of course, the Sealed Fate pay-per-view. If I haven't said what it is yet, basically we're gonna be spinning a wheel of random match types, and so whichever spot of the wheel that lands on, that's gonna be the match type for each matchup. So it's gonna be like a Las Vegas type, so like Raw roulette, to be fair. So yeah. Anyway, now double team suplex from Sheamus and Apollo Crews. There goes Roman Reigns over the top rope. So ladies and gentlemen, none of these four men are gonna actually be in the pay-per-view. So we're showing them here. We're showing them off here. Raw Superman punch by Roman Reigns. There goes Apollo Crews or Tyson Kidd. I can't remember anymore, but I believe Tyson Kidd fell after Apollo. And now I'm trying to get an easy victory here. And Tyson Kidd, he picks up the victory. Roman Reigns missing that elbow drop by probably just a millimeter. Tyson Kidd taking complete and utter control of the move that Roman Reigns did. Apollo Crews taking a nasty line on the outside. And so, well, ladies and Tyson Kidd, he wins that, and that was actually a quick fit for it. That was really surprising. So anyway, moving on here tonight. Number one contenders action, to be fair. Yeah, it is. As breezango, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze take on, well, this hellish tag team, the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker, and Kane. So yeah, the Brood, well, specifically Edge and Gangrel for the Brood, are the Raw Tag Champions. W defend their titles against Hardy Boys. So yeah, there's been like a whole storyline since the beginning of numerous mode between the Brood and Hardy Boys. This is not the first time they've changed each other for the tag titles. So now, after this, we're not going to be having the Hardy Boys take on the Brood for Raw tag titles anymore. Well, at least until another period of time that's going to be not all that close. And so, yeah, so we just like need different tag team matches, to be fair. So, yeah. So Undertaker and Kane or breezango will take on the Brood or Hardy Boys, who walks out of the Sealed Fate Raw exclusive pay-per-view with the Raw Tag Team Championships. And well, breezango, they've been on the road lately. So what they did defeat the new team of Ravishing Rick Rude and Mark Miro on Superstars. So yeah, Tyrese won with a camel clutch, I believe. So yeah, that's that. breezango, they've been on the road. Of course, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura when we assigned them as a tag team momentarily, since Undertaker and Kane, since Kane had a whole matchup against Styles, that Undertaker attacked Styles after, since Styles did defeat Kane, and then Nakamura helped out stuff with that. So then we set that up on week 4, which was the Early Limit pay-per-view, which was the first ever pay-per-view in this universe mode, and which was Raw exclusive. So yeah, whole bunch of pay-per-views once again. So like week 4 had Raw's or the Limit pay-per-view. Week 5 had ECW's Barely Legal pay-per-view, and week 6 had SmackDown's No Surrender pay-per-views. So yeah, and well, essentially, in week 8 there was like a whole break. So like only 2 weeks of build-up for SmackDown, although the World title was not on the line. And week 8 live from MSG joined branded pay-per-view, but there was a number one contenders matchup, which is probably the best matchup in the series so far. So yeah, and so anyway, My bad, I'm having a blank moment here. So essentially, since we just had like a whole 4 week break, so that's 4 episodes for Raw, SmackDown, and ECW to go into their whole, you know, pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view schedule again. Raw is going to have their pay-per-view first again, but this time, instead of ECW having it and then SmackDown having it, SmackDown's going to have their pay-per-view in a row first after Raw, and then ECW, and then we'll occasionally switch it around with ECW or SmackDown going first before Raw, but this is just the way the pay-per-views have been ordered, and of course there are going to be some more joint-branded pay-per-views, like the Live from MSG one in Week 8, so yeah. Essentially, SmackDown, they're going to have their pay-per-view in Week 13, which is Bound for Glory, which is going to be their Money in the Bank type pay-per-view. Money in the Bank qualifications will start on SmackDown Week 12, which is going to be the next episode of SmackDown, so guys could look out for that. And ECW are going to have their exclusive Sin pay-per-view, and it's going to be, Week 14, right, because then Raw have Sealed Fate Week 12, SmackDown Week 13, so that, so yeah. Anyway, now Taker tagging Kane, and now Kane and Undertaker here, the double team, sort of, on Fandango. And now Kane, with that line tamer, switching it up into a Boston Crab, Walls of Jericho applied. And Tyler Breeze gonna try to break it up. And Kane going back, tagging in Undertaker. Back and forth, frequent tags here from Taker and Kane, I would assume. And so now, you gotta think here, an eerie, definitely eerie, just spine-tingling, bone-chilling type matchup if Undertaker and Kane are to win this number one contenders matchup for the Raw Tag Titles, and they are to face off against the Brood if the Brood do defeat the Hardy Boys. Once the pay-per-view happens, as see their old Tyler Breeze and his own tag partner there, got a little bit spooked there when Fandango accidentally grabbed Tyler Breeze, and so Breeze, a little bit miscommunication there. Taker and Kane taking advantage right there. So Undertaker with that backwards neckbreaker, and now the big boot. Right to back the head, Tyler Breeze with the kick up. And Breeze, well, now he's going to have to face off against Kane. And Undertaker just going to do the damage a little bit more with that back suplex. Camel clutch from Kane. This is what Tyler Breeze did to make Rick Rude tap out on Superstars. Superstars, of course, joined Brandon between Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. They have the NXT title. SmackDown currently hold the NXT Championship with Mr. Perfect, and currently have the number one contenders for the NXT title. So either way, out from the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, a SmackDown superstar will come out with the NXT Championship, whether if it's current champion and first ever champion Mr. Perfect, or if it's number one contender Chavo Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero, of course, on SmackDown. He's going to be inside the Money in the Bank qualifications, but then again, we're going to have to keep Raw, SmackDown, and ECW separate from each other. So we're not going to talk about SmackDown and ECW here. I am an unbiased commentator, unlike when I usually was. I'll be biased. I'll have a whole script where I act like a heel for Raw and faces for SmackDown and ECW. I stopped that. I stopped doing that on, week 7? Week 6 or week 7? Probably in week 5, I think. Because I really just wasn't in the mood to be acting. And, yeah, so yeah. But although for SmackDown and ECW, I acted like my normal self. But for Raw, I acted like a heel that just... Yeah, but I do like some faces, I like some heels. I'm not biased, so yeah. Anyway, now Tyler Breeze missing that spin heel kick. Taker crawling, Kane makes the tag. At the same time, Fandango, he's tagged in. Well, he's just gonna immediately get off the fray. But now, matchups mixed up here, as you see right there. And now Kane with the ankle lock onto Fandango for just a couple seconds. And Fandango, well, he's gonna send flying off the missed drop kick. And so, Kane, upper hand here, has the legs, bringing Fandango a little bit closer to his team's corner. Can Fandango tap out here? His legs gonna snap in half if Kane can't continue this pressure. As the Undertaker has Tyler Breeze body slammed him into an armbar, and that would be a rope break, luckily enough for Fandango. And so, definitely, Fandango and Tyler Breeze, breezango, they definitely are being very, very resilient. So. They're surviving a little bit, so they're Fandango trying to tag Tyler Breeze. Not able to do it in time, but drawing Undertaker out the ring. Fandango now upper hand. here in this match, we're gonna have to perhaps make a tag to Tyler Breeze if he does lose a couple more NG, to be fair. So we're at the in the middle part of the matchup now, because like this matchup's been going on for a while, not too long. It has been a short matchup, but it's been going on for a length amount of time. So yeah, Taker on count 5 here, Fandango on count of 4, and now commentator's curse. I see there. Oh my God. Well, there you go. The Ace Crusher, also known as a cutter. But if you only watch WWE and don't watch any other wrestling promotions, you could just call that an RKO, to be fair. Anyway, Fandango just basically nailed the following facebuster to Taker. Now Taker, he's on count 9 here, and he gets counted out. Taker not getting inside the ring on count 10. It's now a 2-on-1 handicap matchup between Breezango and Kane. Taker stalking Fandango. Now Fandango, well, he actually caught Taker's punch. Not gonna lie, I'm surprised by that. On count 6, though, and Fandango getting inside that ring. Kane just slowly, methodically waiting for him, throwing away Tyler Breeze. And now, well, there you go, double shoulder breaker. That was not a tombstone. That was a shoulder breaker. And there we go. Kane picks up a victory, delivering it to both men, pinning Fandango. Taker and Kane will take on either Hardy Boys or Edge and Gangrel of the Brood for the Raw Tag Titles, depending on who walks out of Sealed Fate. And well, ladies and gentlemen, this was just announced. Magnus will issue an open challenge at the Sealed Fate pay-per-view, along with AJ Styles take on Bobby Lashley for the W title. I've gave them the night off here tonight on Raw. No promos, no segments, no skits, none of that. Styles is training. Lashley definitely out in the gym training, waiting to probably retain his W title. It depends. The AJ Styles, I said the AJ Styles. I mean the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Definitely a worthy contender. Nice, he did win that 10-man battle royal in the main event of Raw Week 10. Of course, with so many big names, such as Bird Real, I believe former champion Roman Reigns as well. Also CM Punk, and The Real. They'll be facing off against each other at the Sealed Fate pay-per-view due to The Real attacking CM Punk. Backstage in the last episode of Raw, and also Sami Zayn taking on Silas Young, and Silas Young did attack Zayn backstage as well. But that's had one more week of build-up, one more episode of build-up than Punk and The Real. CM Punk, of course, former WWE champion. He's not going to be having another shot at the title for a while. Well, it depends on what storylines he's booked in. Currently, he's booked in with probably a one-time only thing against The Real. Or he could go on to a second pay-per-view. We're not fully sure yet. Well, at least I'm not. But I do have other things planned ahead of time for The Real, to be fair. So, probably overlap that with Punk, I guess. Anyway, now, well, this is number 1 contender versus number 1 contender here tonight. as we got number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. I completely forgot how m.v.p. Has became the number 1 contender. I don't think he won the number 1 contender's matchup. It was just in week 8 for the whole Fatal 4-Way elimination matchup for the Intercontinental title, where we had Apollo Crews defend the Intercontinental title against m.v.p, Alex Shelley, and The Miz. And so Shelley and m.v.p. were the last 2 men. Apollo Crews getting eliminated first, Miz getting eliminated second, and also Miz getting eliminated by Alex Shelley. Of course, since months, not months, but like 2 weeks prior, before week 8, which was in week 6, I believe, or week 7, we did have The Miz. As see right here, Cody Rhodes crash and burn to the outside, but we did have The Miz. Attack Actually, he's taking part Chris Sabin of the Mercy Machine Guns. Sabin, he's came back and he's had his first matchup back against m.v.p. on Heat episode 1. But we haven't seen Chris Sabin since. But him and Alex Shelley are still in the tag team, or still inside the Mercy Machine Guns tag team. We just not putting them in tag team matches, or haven't really showcased Sabin all that much. But Alex Shelley, he's not really teamed up with Sabin, since Sabin, since Shelley himself actually has the Intercontinental title. So, until Alex Shelley loses the title, or until Chris Sabin overlaps into challenging Alex Shelley for the Intercontinental Championship, we shall have a whole thing where they probably challenge for a title. Like, what, in TNA 2008, in Genesis 2008, where it was like Alex Shelley defending the Exhibition title against Chris Sabin, or vice versa. Anyway, Alex Shelley won that matchup, and I was sad because I want Chris Sabin to win, because I like Sabin more than Shelley, because he's better, in my opinion. Anyway, so m.v.p. and well, of course, Cody Rhodes, he's the number 1 contender for the X Division Championship. and he'll be facing off against Prince Puma, also known as Ricochet. We're going to keep him as Prince Puma, even though it's Ricochet. Also, Ricochet is currently signed a deal to WWE, so yeah. The rumors of Ricochet signing with NXT is true. War Machine have also signed with WWE, so yeah, that's cool. We're not going to create War Machine here just because we have two main tag teams, to be fair, across all three brands. Mostly ECW. ECW's roster is stacked. But since ECW is the more stacked roster, I don't know why. I'm not struggling with ECW all that much. But since ECW has the more stacked roster of independent talent and of big monstrous guys. Well, more than Raw and SmackDown at least. And so I'm actually not struggling all that much. I'm kind of not struggling with booking the matches for them, to be fair. So yeah. But for Raw can get a little bit tricky since I want to showcase a specific amount of talent, but I also want to showcase some other ones. And so for SmackDown I can maintain easily. Raw, it's just a talent match card that could be a little bit tricky, which is why Heat really is a saving grace more than Velocity and Metal. Specifically for like Velocity and ECW, respectively. So yeah. Since Velocity is for SmackDown, Metal is for ECW. Anyway, time to call the action here. Full Nelson submission hold. The number one contender for the Exhibition title, Cody Rhodes, number one contender for the Intercontinental title, m.v.p, both of which are heels. So yeah, see right there, Rhodes just getting simply struck down. Remember, the Mystery Bullet Club member still has to come to Raw. Yeah, we still know who that Mystery Bullet Club member is. There are rumors of some more superstars coming to ECW and SmackDown. So yeah, that's why ECW needs more and more superstars. The roster's not stacked enough. Yeah. Gonna have major superstars going to ECW, along with some major superstars going to Raw as well. Brock Lesnar, not one of them. Remember, we still have the hype for Brock Lesnar to debut on Raw. He has not even had a whole segment yet, but once he comes into the Raw universe, you have to bet that he's definitely going to be perhaps the most dominant man on Raw. And probably is going to give ECW's Braun Strowman a run for his money for one of the most dominant guys currently in universe mode. Anyway, now Rhodes, off the ropes, nails that, off the top turnbuckle, nailing that double axe handle to the outside. And now that sharpshooter trying to rip apart the legs of MVP, or at least make it difficult for him to walk. And now for people, when they say that you can't win certain match types by submissions, you actually could. You could win a Royal Rumble by submission. Well, of course, not literally, because if they tap out, it doesn't matter. But because then you weaken their legs, and so it's going to be a more struggle for them to, like, save themselves, to, like, get up and save themselves from falling over the ropes. So technically, you could win, to be fair. Not literally, because if they tap out, it won't count. But yeah, I don't know how I went inside this kind of conversation. Second channel still doesn't have no videos. But it's going to start having some videos, like countdown list for WWE stuff specifically. Wrestling stuff specifically. And predictions, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what the second channel is going to consist of. I do have a couple ideas. I have just really been too lazy to really do a whole voiceover over multiple pictures to do the whole countdown list. Although I basically do a whole voiceover for like half an hour of videos for Raw, SmackDown, and ECW, and like 15 minutes of Heat, Velocity, and Metal, and like 20-some minutes of Superstars. And of course, sometimes for previews, probably half an hour as well. Sometimes, and then sometimes it ends up being like an hour, and I have to do it to like 2 parts since my phone can't take the storage. Although I could maintain it, I just keep forgetting how to be fair, so yeah. Anyway, moving away from that, so here Cody Rhodes, simple kicks right to the back, very effective. To MVP countering with that bulldog into the crossface, very close to those ropes, and MVP's feet touching those said ropes. And now Rhodes bringing MVP back into the ring. Gotta think if Cody Rhodes is to win this matchup, well, of course Cody Rhodes has the more all-star caliber than MVP, but MVP, he's changing for a more prestigious title. We all know that he's Intercontinental title more prestigious than TNA's X Division title. Well, of course, the X Division title has had a whole great amount of talent to hold it. Chris Sabin. Also some other ones like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles as well. So those are some good ones as well. But yeah, Jay Lethal is a good one as well. So yeah. But of course, Cody Rhodes changing for the extra title because he's close to being a lightweight, I guess. Well, if not, he's kind of somewhat have some good athletic ability. The Cruiserweight title over on SmackDown, the ECW Hardcore Lightweight title on ECW, and then the X-Division title is supposed to be like the Cruiserweight title. SmackDown has the regular Cruiserweight title, though, and it's supposed to be like that, but, like, we kind of have, like, some superstars who are over that 205 limit, which is why we made it 220, like before, for, like, the Ruthless Discussion era of SmackDown, just so we could have a more showcase of talent. But Cruiserweights, the X Division, and the Hardcore Lightweights, they could hold some other titles besides their respective weight caliber title. Shane Douglas is changing for the Hardcore Lightweight title, so yeah. I underestimated how much he actually weighed. So yeah, that's a little mistake. But yeah, we could fix that over on ECW, I guess, but he's still gonna change Neville for the title, I guess, so yeah. Anyway, now this match has been going on for a while here, so you gotta think, definitely, those two men. Cody Rhodes gonna give X-Division champion Ricochet / Prince Puma a run for his money. Well, m.v.p definitely gonna give A.A.W a run for his money, probably. Shall see. I'm not sure if m.v.p has actually defeated A.A.W in non-title action. I know that he did not defeat Chris Sabin on episode 1 of Heat, so yeah, but whatever. And now Cody Rhodes with that leg strength submission maneuver, trying to snap apart the leg of m.v.p moments ago. Now m.v.p countering with that headlock and try to suffocate Cody Rhodes to wear him down. Slow down the pace of this matchup, which definitely m.v.p won, but I see right there, never mind. Counter, Cody Rhodes slowing down the pace of this matchup. Both these men just need that upper hand, and well, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Rhodes, he gets more than the upper hand. He gets a submission victory over m.v.p. Cody Rhodes, the #1 contender for the X Division Championship, wins and defeats the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, m.v.p. Moving on, here we go. Completely forgot which match was this. Who versus who? Jeff Hardy versus... right. Okay, remember. Yes, to set up for the Raw Tag Team matchup, Edge, accompanied with Gangrel, your Raw Tag Team Champions, take on Jeff Hardy, accompanied by Matt Hardy. One-on-one action here between Edge and Jeff. And here we go. Well, Matt and Gangrel, they're just going to be inside the ring. And it's not going to be a disqualification. But anyway, main event. I'm not sure if I announced this on Heat. I believe I did. I know I announced this Edge and Jeff Hardy matchup on Heat. I also know I announced a different matchup besides the main event, I think. And if I didn't, well, then I probably just announced this matchup between Jeff and Edge. But main event here tonight, since we did not do the match card picture in the beginning because I just too lazy to create one. And I remembered that I didn't, so I'm too lazy to restart this video after I create one, so I'm not going to do it. No match card picture for Heat, nor Raw, by A.A.W, Metal, Velocity, SmackDown, Superstars. We'll have one. And we're going to upload a whole match card video for Raw Sealed Fate, like what we did for our whole GWE universe months ago that I did not really enjoy all that much. We had no storyline. The only storylines we actually had were really #1 contenders matches for titles, and I really don't like that all that much. Sure, I really do slack off and like trying to create more deeper, in-depth storylines that are not just created with #1 contenders matches. So yeah, but yeah. Just yeah. Anyway, main event, CM Punk going to team up with the man he faced off in that whole Fatal 4-Way, 2 Fatal 4-Way matches in Week 1, and then the finals between those two winners of those 2 Fatal 4 matches in the WWE title tournament in Week 1 and Week 2 of Raw, where CM Punk and Sami Zayn won their respective Fatal 4 matches. And then in Week 2, they faced off against each other in the finals for the WWE Championship, and CM Punk won, of course, on Week 2. So CM Punk, that's how CM Punk became the first ever WWE Champion. And the outcome of that, well, Punk losing the title on Week 8. He did successfully defend it on Week 4 against Roman Reigns at the Olympic pay-per-view, but then the triple threat odds between the tag team of Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley was just too much. And I believe Lashley actually pinned Reigns, so yeah. But anyway, So, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, they team up. Then bygones be bygones. Both of them are faces, so yeah. And they're gonna take on their respective rivals. Sami Zayn taking on his current rival, Silas Young. CM Punk taking on his current rival, Alberto. Tag team action to give us a little preview of what to come at the Raw Sealed Fate pay-per-view. And, well, that's definitely gonna be something good. Well, we're also gonna have a humongous six-man tag team matchup between the Raw, SmackDown, and ECW World Champions. So Raw WWE Champion, Raw WWE Champion Bobby Lashley, SmackDown World Heavyweight Champion Aleister Black, and ECW Champion Minoru Suzuki. I see we have Jeff Hardy pinning Edge with that double unhook seated powerbomb. Jeff Hardy picks up victory. Perhaps that could be what happens in the Sealed Fate Raw exclusive pay-per-view. Shall see. Moving on. Here we go. Main event tag team action. This just egotistical team of The Real and Silas Young to take on, well, this fan favorite, awesome 5-star caliber match of a team, CM Punk and Sami Zayn. So, here we go. This right here is gonna be awesome. I'm not sure if you guys hear like any headphone static. If there was, I was just like adjusting it a little bit. Also, I'm not sure if you guys can hear any background noise. I haven't even bothered to actually like listen to what's been happening on so far. Like pause this voiceover and listen to actually what's been happening so far. So yeah. But I don't know. I'm probably not gonna redo it. I'll probably just procrastinate all the way to tomorrow to do this voiceover again. If stuff hasn't just went well, I guess. Anyway, humongous six-man tag matchup between the champions, the major world champions of Raw, SmackDown, ECW, to take on the #1 contenders of Raw, SmackDown, ECW in a major six-man tag team matchup. The main event of Superstars. Superstars, of course, joined branded with Raw, SmackDown, ECW, where Raw, SmackDown, ECW Superstars could face off against each other, although they usually don't. For this time, this will be the first time they actually ever do. Well, he's on Superstars. And so, we last month in December, where we did the whole live tour house show monthly highlights with like 8 or 9 matches, and it was like Raw versus SmackDown, ECW versus SmackDown, SmackDown versus ECW. No, I don't think we had any SmackDown versus we didn't have any SmackDown versus ECW matches, to be fair. So yeah, that's like the only thing, which is why SmackDown won most of their matches in the joint brand thing. And we also had some Raw versus Raw, SmackDown versus SmackDown, ECW versus ECW matches as well. But yeah. So we're going to go back to doing that. We did that on December 8th. Today is currently December 5th, I think. And if it's not, and if it's December 6th, well, then you guys will know once the video goes up. I'm not fully sure what... today's December 5th, I feel like it is. Yeah, today's December 5th, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. Anyway, now, Punk and Silas Young here. This is a matchup. And so, the Rio and Sami Zayn, once we get that matchup here in this tag team matchup, which we most likely are, they were, of course, in the 10-man battle royal. I believe Zayn was he? I'm not fully sure if Zayn was. I know the Rio was. I know Punk was. CM Punk actually eliminated Alberto with 3 high knee strikes, 2 GTSs. Punk delivered 3 high knee strikes to the Rio, or 2, 1 inside the ring. The second one two inside the ring. Or CM Punk did 2 GTSs and then 1 high knee strike. Bottom line, he did 2 GTSs on the upper turnbuckle that Punk and Del Rio are closest to. The one that Del Rio is on top right now. That's where they're like cornered at. CM Punk did 2 GTSs. The second GTS sent Del Rio to the outside of the ring, and then the way that CM Punk eliminated Del Rio, a high knee strike, and it was so cool. And that's how Del Rio got eliminated from Battle Royal. Then Del Rio attacks Punk on next episode of Raw, yada yada. That's how the storyline got set up, and that's been set up since like week 10. This Sami Zayn Silas Young rivalry has only been set up since week 11, so yeah, only for use of having more matches on the card. Only for use of us having 8 matches instead of 6, to be fair. Along with the Magnus Open Challenge, because I want Magnus to be in the pay-per-view. And I'm too lazy to do a last-second storyline like we did with Sami Zayn and Silas Young. Punk and Del Rio wasn't last second. I've been having that planned. But I did want Sami Zayn and Silas Young to actually be in the pay-per-view, so we did that whole storyline. And Del Rio and Punk, I actually wanted them there, and I've been having that planned for a while, to be fair, for them to have a matchup. See there, a little bit of a tag team right there between Punk and Zayn with that double team suplex. Right to Alberto Del Rio, but Del Rio countering back here with some drop kicks, some more knee drops. Multiple shots here by Sami Punk. But he's in the corner of Sami Zayn, and CM Punk see there, Sami Zayn falling off the top turnbuckle for no apparent reason, phasing through the commentator's desk. And, well, cross arm breaker by Punk to Del Rio, so that's a little bit surprising. A little bit of a one-up. This is a preview of what to happen at the pay-per-view. So definitely, if either Punk pins Del Rio pins Punk, Silas Young pins Sami Zayn, or Zayn pins Young. Definitely a major preview of what happens here. Zayn just gonna simply push away Del Rio, but then he just gets sent flying by the humongous strike from Silas Young. And now Punk, is he gonna fly? No, never mind. He's gonna be sent to the outside as well. Silas Young in complete control and on fire here against his rival Sami Zayn, and well against his tag team partner by the Real's rival CM Punk. But he's throwing them both almost through the announce table. Cody Rhodes went through that announce table earlier, along with Tyson Kidd just hitting his jaw on that, and well, Apollo Crews almost going through it, and well, there we go. Off the victory roll, Silas Young going through that announce table. This poor announce table just getting so much abuse, and well, getting sent, just getting fixed by CM Punk. The cult of personality is here on Raw. It's main evented. Definitely great. And now Silas Young, upper hand here against his Raw. Sami Zayn, there goes Zayn getting sent flying off the ring apron. And now Young with the drop kick. I mean, not the drop kick, the clothesline, my bad. Clothesline. He got some of his tag team partner real, but he did hit some of Sami Zayn process as Zayn counters. Well, never mind, it's the Young counters. Well, so many counters, essentially. I'm surprised that the whole credentials of the participants are mixed up. For example, Punk and Young, and Del Rio and Zayn. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. And then, well, when I was gonna say that, to be fair, that's when it actually happened. So yeah, I was a little bit late for that. My bad. Anyway, now, well, what? Okay, anyway, Del Rio just the dragon screw right to Sami Zayn, aiming for a leg, perhaps. Seth aiming. Well, there goes Zayn through the foldable chair. But that is not disqualification. Only weapons are a disqualification on the inside of the ring. Outside, you can use them, and you could sometimes get disqualified for countouts, depending if it's a tag team matchup, I believe. I'm not fully sure. Yeah, I think for a tag team matchup. And if you get disqualified in a tag team matchup, you get eliminated, essentially. Then it turns to a handicap matchup, basically. Unless if you're on the handicap side, well, then it turns even, I guess, or closer to being even, whatever. It just depends. So, Sami Zayn, well, nailing that. On to Silas Young. Card's looking up to be good. Magnus with the open challenge, just because I want Magnus to be showcased in the Seed Fate pay-per-view. And also, that superstar that I'm going to make answer the open challenge. Don't worry, he's not going to be a debuting superstar like Jack Swagger was in Week 8 for the whole triple threat thing. And how he won the U.S. title, stuff like that. You could check over on SmackDown episodes if you haven't already. If you guys already knew about that, well then. Okay. And if you guys haven't, well then, check back Week 8 for the Live from the MSG pay-per-view, Part 1 of 2. And also other SmackDown episodes like Velocity, which had... Velocity episode 1 had, what, Jack Swagger on thumbnail? So yeah. And then he had the whole WCW United States title, mostly just because I like the design of the WCW United States Championship better than the regular United States title that's been around forever. Well, at least the used version of it. So yeah. Anyway, Sami Zayn, well, hitting Punk a little bit there. Well, not a little bit. He completely hit him. Completely hit him with that spin heel kick. Sami Zayn. Punk, well, he's not gonna do anything about it. But now Zayn, upper hand here with the strikes, and now that slingshot right to Silas Young, tagging in Punk. CM Punk, well, there goes, well, Del Rio also here. And so, Del Rio with the football chair. Well, Silas Young with the headlock to CM Punk. Sami Zayn not helping. Well, never mind. I don't think he needs to anymore. He was going over there, I believe. Never mind. Backslide by Punk. Gun steal one here. Gun easy victory. Never mind. CM Punk almost stealing one against his rival Bird Real, but the Real answers him back with bye Sam. The Real. And now, well, has him off the ropes goes Punk. Well, oh, Punk. Insane a little bit there. That was definitely accidental. Well, along with what Sami Zayn did, that's being heel kick, to be fair. So, both men getting equal at each other. But accidentally, to be fair. Now the half leg crab by CM Punk. 2 up Bird Real gonna rip apart that leg. Boston Crab, as he quickly transitioned that, I guess. And now the Real slapping Punk across the face right there. And now the Real cross arm breaker, but nope, that will be a rope break, and sadly you cannot sign grounded submissions as people's finishers, so that wouldn't do all that much damage when you make Punk tap out. But see there, CM Punk getting one up here by Bird Real with the anaconda device. The Real with the anaconda device on Punk, using his own submission maneuver against him. Punk did win. He did retain the WWE Championship against Roman Reigns at Week 4 in the Orlando pay-per-view by doing that after Reigns landed on his head off with the ring apron. As he went crashing and burn off the ring apron and landed right on his head, his neck bending a little bit. Did not get injured off of that, but then Punk, and insult to injury with the anaconda device, is how he won towel. And it wasn't no disqualification, false count anywhere matchup, so that was a cool ending, to be fair. So yeah, one of the best endings on Universal Mode of all time, to be fair. Anyway, now the Real double one hook suplex, nailing down Punk on the ring apron. Lucky enough, is isolated with the barricade. Sami Zayn assisting Punk a little bit, and again the strikes to the Real, and now Punk upper hand here on the Real backslide, but that's not gonna count since that's on the ring apron. And now, well, the Real in a definitely bad position here, as he's in the corner of CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Definitely don't want to be in the corner of that team when you're the opposing team. And now the ankle lock, not gonna do any amount of all that much damage to Punk. And now Punk, couple strikes, has the legs of the Real into the surfboard, and well, the Real leaning tapping out. Can that be a preview, perhaps a preview of what to happen in the Raw exclusive Sealed Fate pay-per-view, where we spin a wheel, basically Raw roulette, but in the pay-per-view, where we're going to spin a wheel of random match types and win for the Raw Tag Team title matchup, where that's going to be a tag matchup. And we spin wheels for all the matches. We get random match types in for Magnus Open Challenge. Well, every matchup, to be fair, in for the Magnus Open Challenge as well. So, that is it. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Raw. This was Week 12, and this was the go-home show for Raw. So thank you all for watching. Catch you on next one, which will be ECW's pre-show Metal, then ECW, then SmackDown's pre-show Velocity, then SmackDown, then Superstars. And then once we do all that, we shall get into Raw's Sealed Fate pay-per-view. So thank you guys for watching. See you on next one, and goodbye.